Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Office Hours. And as you can tell, I'm going solo today. Katie had some last minute stuff she had to deal with. So I'm going to see what I can do to hold down the fort, answer your questions, and get everything going here today. So thanks, everybody, for joining. And just so you know, if this is your first time in Office Hours, this is your show. This is where you ask questions, anything about Ecamm, anything that you want to know. You know, let her rip. Put your questions in the comments, starting with a Q colon, and we'll do our best to answer your questions today. So again, thanks everybody for joining. As you noticed in the preview, Ecamm has launched something really cool, I think, the Launchpad, where you can submit an idea for one of your shows, and if it's approved, you will get a year's worth of Ecamm, the Pro plan. You're going to get Ecamm's backing for helping you put your show together. We're going to do the branding for you, help put all that together, and then work with you over the course of the year to not only promote your show, but give you guidance as you go along. And it's open to anybody in the United States, with the exception of Rhode Island. Due to some laws in the state of Rhode Island, you're unable to participate unless you move to another place in the next week, another state, then you can participate. But you want to submit your thing, make sure that you have thought it out thoroughly, a written proposal, you need to add a video. All the instructions are at ecamm.com/launchpad. Walks you through how we're doing the judging and the entire thing. Your submission must be in by 5 p.m. on September 30th Eastern Time, not 5:01, not October 1st, 5 p.m. on Eastern Time on September 30th. And then it will be judged, and the winner is going to be announced at the final day of Creator Camp. And you don't have to be present to win, but the announcement will be made live from there on CCTV. So be sure and check in for that. So if you have any questions regarding that, let me know too. So as I said, this is your show. We're open to answering your questions. Anything that you want to know about Ecamm, ask away. Just put a Q colon in it and I'll keep an eye on things. Many of us are getting ready to go to Creator Camp. It is just 27 days away. It's hard to believe. I remember when the digits were 3 digits long, and now it's getting very close. So we're all pulling together for that, having fun with that. As you've heard a couple times, Creator Camp TV, CCTV will be broadcasting daily throughout camp, little bits and pieces, probably 2 to 3 times a day. Kind of giving you behind the scenes peek at what's going on at camp. The sessions and those types of things won't be broadcast, but we will be giving you some little interviews with people and talking with people and stuff to get their feelings and ideas about camp. So that will be happening throughout camp uh, in October. So, anybody got any questions? Any burning things that you want to know? If you are going to camp, uh, as seen in the comments, the shirts have started shipping, and some people have already received their shirts. If you haven't ordered your T-shirt, be sure to do that because we want to make sure that you have your T-shirt in time for camp. The hotel room blocks have now closed. Pretty much everybody has a room booked. I think there were a couple as I looked last night that didn't. Hopefully they've been able to get those booked in time and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, we're having fun putting it together and getting things ready for you and all that type of stuff. And those people that came last year can kind of tell you what a blast. It's unlike any event that you've ever been to. It's not like a typical conference where you go in and somebody stands up there and talks to you and brain dumps on you. This is very hands-on interactive. There will be about 115 people in total attending camp this year, and over half of those people will be attending camp for the first time. So that's kind of fun too. So it's going to be neat, those of us that went last year, to kind of meet up with our past friends. And then we have a whole bunch of people that we will be meeting for the first time that we've known for online, but have never been able, have never actually physically met before. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Um, so people are getting their T-shirts. That's really great. Um, the One of the questions that came up was about the monthly Q&A. We had to postpone that this year for this month due to some issues going on, so we weren't able to deal with that at this month. So there is going to be a special episode of Creator Camp TV on the 7th of October that Ken and Glenn are going to be on talking about camp. But we won't have a Q&A session until next month. So like I said, we had to kind of postpone that this year or this month to next year due to some unforeseen stuff that came up. So Q&A will be next month. Ken and Glenn will also be doing a special talk, kind of a fireside chat or a keynote speech at camp talking about the future of Ecamm, what's coming up on the horizon. So those of you that are coming to camp will get a kind of a sneak peek behind the scenes that nobody else knows about, kind of hint at some of the new things that, what's on the horizon for Ecamm and what they're working on and stuff like that. So that's going to be a lot of fun too. So anybody else got anything? Ooh, Matt got his T-shirt. What? Yeah, I did a check on things this morning, and there's a good portion of the shirts that have gone out. There's still some that are in production and some that are about ready to ship, but a big portion of them have actually gone out and been shipped. Valerie asked if I could talk a little bit more about Launchpad. So yes, if you go to ecamm.com/launchpad, you will see all the information you need for Launchpad. And this is basically the website that you're going to see. So in this website, it will talk to you about what it is. It's like an apprentice, program, designed specifically for you. Basically, it's going to walk you through what you need to do, to submit your proposal for the show of your dreams. We want you to think big. It needs to be something that can carry on for a year. As I said, we're going to be your partners. We're going to be working with you. We're also going to be writing a case study about your show and the process of you creating this show and launching it off and all that stuff. We have a rubric that we will look at and we will use to judge your shows. So basically, all the submissions come in now. We will, at the end of the month, go through those. We will cut those down to 10. Then the committee will review those. We'll take that down to 5, and then we're going to do live interviews with the people that those final submissions, and then out of that 5, we will break it down to the actual winner. And like I said, you're going to get an year-long creator apprenticeship powered by Ecamm. So it's going to be full show production, branding and design. We have Marshall, on board. He's going to be helping you do your branding and all that fun stuff. Uh, we're going to take care of marketing your show, help you with show support, what we can do, technical support, that type of stuff. You're going to have a direct link to us for helping. You'll probably even get a little bit of me in there helping you with a moderator and setting, working with you on that part if that's something that you're interested to. And like I said, the biggie is getting 1 year of Ecamm Live Pro along with that as part of the winners. So the key things to look at is we're looking for an out-of-box idea that you can't do on your own, something that, you've wanted to do, but you just, you don't have the means, the ability, anything like that to do. It should be educational. It's something that needs to be going on. There are some restrictions, it needs to be within our guidelines. It can't be, or religious, political, those types of things. It needs to be something that we would be showing, on our channel and stuff like that. And it's very, very important that your application be clear, concise, lay everything out, make sure that your vision, your goals, all that stuff is there so that we understand what's going on. We can't read your minds. So you need to be sure and be clear with us what you want to do so that, we make sure that we judge you. This is the panel of the judges. It's going to be Ken, Glenn, Katie, Caleb, Doc, myself, Marshall, Anna, Fulgens, Luis, and Jeff. So as I said, round 1, we're going to review all the proposals and we'll take that down to 10. Round 2, we'll take the top 10, go through that, and we'll bring that down to 5 entries that will then go into round 3, which is the live interviews with those people and judging in that part. And then we'll announce it at Creator Camp. All you have to do to apply is click that button. If you have any other questions, that's down here also. And like I said, it's open to anybody in the United States with the exception of Rhode Island. This is the rubric that we're going to use for judging. So you'll know exactly what we're looking for. So you can check that out. All that information is in there. And then we have the official rules and all the legalese down here too, that you can check out and go for it. The approximate value of the prizes is $4,900. So not a bad little contest going on. So we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really neat. It's something we haven't done. This was an idea that Caleb came up with, and we started putting pieces together and kind of working on it and brainstorming on things, and it's really fun. Peter says, I'm getting feedback in my ear when I speak. I use AirPods for my speakers and a Rode mic. Both are set up as virtual mics and speakers. Anytime you use something wireless, you are going to probably hear a delay. It's just the nature of electronics. One of the things that you want to make sure is that you're not monitoring the YouTube channel and you're monitoring what's actually, like whatever your roadcaster, your mic is or anything like that. Because you will hear a delay if you start listening to your, like Facebook stream or YouTube stream, something like that. That's inherent. Make sure you have echo cancellation turned on too. Check that. Sometimes if your sound is really loud, it may be it may be picking up. The best thing to do is if you look at your sound levels panel in Ecamm, when you speak, you should only see your mic slider moving, the volume moving up and down. You should not see any movement in any of the other sound level panels. It's just like when you have an interview guest on, you should only see the interview guest sound moving when they're talking. It should not be showing up in your mic. If you're seeing anything like that, it can be, you can be getting slapback, which is kind of, hearing the sounds again. So check those things out. If you have any other problems, post something in either Discord or on the Facebook group. You can throw in a little video clip as a sample showing what's going on, and we can see if we can help you out there. Yeah. And George, you're right. Maestro does make appearances here and there, so he did walk by. Um, his feeding time is noon here in California, which is in about 45 minutes. So he's now on food alert. Anybody else have anything? Any questions about what we do at Ecamm? What's going on? Let's see. Going from there. Here we go. Valerie asked a question. Can you discuss the importance of keeping assets together and what happens when you move them, change the name? So when you store assets in Ecamm, you want to put those assets in a folder on your desktop or something like that. You do not want those to be copied to the cloud. So if you're using something like Dropbox or I brain old age brain void, the Apple version of Dropbox or anything like that, you don't want those files being copied up to the cloud because they are removed from your computer and stored in the cloud, and then they're pulled from the cloud as needed. Ecamm can't see those anymore. So it goes to look for, like, if you have an overlay, a video that you're putting or pictures or anything like that, any assets in your stream, Ecamm is going to go out and look for it, and it's not going to be able to find it. So what I suggest is creating a folder on your desktop called Ecamm Assets or Media Files, something like that, and then putting all of your files and stuff like that in that to kind of keep them organized on your desktop so that they are not copied into a cloud and suddenly disappear, because that has bitten many people. They have everything set up, everything's perfect, great. They go to start a stream, and then all of a sudden they're getting messages in Ecamm saying that the file can't be found. And that is why, because it's suddenly been copied someplace else and it's not where it was supposed to be. And so Ecamm can no longer find it. Let's see. Matt says, this is where Ecamm is superior. For example, in vMix, you can't always see every sound level. They're buried under tabs. Ecamm shows them all stacked up close to each other. Yes, I always have that sound panels box open, and I'm always looking at during my stream just to kind of make sure everything is working and functioning and doing what it's supposed to. And I can usually see if I have a problem, just looking at that as to what's going on and things like that. So it is very helpful. Anybody else have anything? Trying to think what else is going on here. We had a a session that we did with Lorraine Lee last week. Was the first session. It's on Zoom. The second session starts this week on video presence and kind of on front cameras and stuff like that. So it's that's something you can check out. If you're looking for what shows are coming up, Ecamm has a calendar that's out. If you go to ecamm.tv/reminders, you can join the calendar and have that put into your calendar, and you'll be able to see all the shows that are upcoming and things like that. Doc says he's impressed with how much I know about Ecamm. The only reason I know all this about Ecamm is because of Doc. I learn from the best. So, but there's that. Let's see what else. Adrian is going to be doing, you're going to get clued into this next week, but I'll give you a sneak peek. Adrian is going to be doing a challenge next week, a 2-day challenge. Adrian and Annan Fulgens will be doing an Ecamm challenge. That's going to be on Tuesday and Wednesdays of next week. So you want to look out for that. Tuesday is going to be on YouTube, and then Wednesday is going to be a Zoom session. So you'll want to register for that when the link comes out, and make sure that you're signed up for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be working through stuff, and then a new series of the Ecamm Live Academy starts on the 30th of the 30th of this month. So that's a 2-week session. So you're going to be hearing about that in the upcoming weeks too. So lots of fun stuff going on before camp gets here. And that. Anybody else have anything? Like I said, it's an open book. find out what you want. One of the things I do want to mention is if you're having problems with Ecamm, if you're trying to figure out something or, running into issues, we have a support article, support.ecamm.com. It's going to take you to this page. Up there in that search bar, you can type the word shortcuts. You can type Zoom resolution. You type in some keywords. We have a ton of support documents that we put together to answer some of your basic questions. So check here if you're having problems, and there's a good chance you might find a support document written. But just put things in, try different words, combinations, different things and see what actually pops up. If you're looking for a list of all of the Ecamm shortcuts, you can type in shortcuts in there or hotkeys, and you'll get a list, a link to all the shortcuts that we have in at Ecamm. Yeah, Doc brings up, let's see, John mentioned the fact that it always slows my computer now when I switch from live mode to preview mode. It takes like 6 seconds to switch modes. Um, I have it. I think a lot of it would depend on their computer, and how much memory and stuff like that. I haven't noticed it taking that long to make the transition. My biggest thing with preview mode, as Doc just mentioned in the comments too, is I go into preview mode to make changes and I forget that I am in preview mode. Even though there's a red border around and there's a yellow box on the screen that says preview, I still miss the fact that I am still in preview mode and I'm changing scenes and doing stuff and then discovering that nobody's seeing what I'm doing. I'm still stuck on that original window that I was on. I have a teleprompter in front of me, what I look at here in the camera. So I'm seeing exactly what's being sent out to the live feed. And even at that, I have sometimes missed the fact that I have not gone out of preview mode and stuff like that. So yeah, preview mode is great for making last minute changes, but you have to remember that you need to go back to live mode and publish it before everybody sees what you've actually changed. Otherwise, you've made the changes for yourself and nobody else. Let's see, anything else here? I'm trying to think what else is, Doc, if you have any ideas or anything exciting that's coming up, feel free to drop that in the chat. Yeah, people are talking about seeing people. It's like I am so excited for camp, and getting to camp and seeing everybody. It's going to be a blast. It's last year I was, we had come out of the pandemic. I hadn't really traveled for quite a few years. I had got laid off of my job, ended up kind of into retirement and stuff like that, and wasn't really, traveling anywhere and all that stuff, and I've got involved with Ecamm and met all these people online, but I've never met any of these people. So going to camp last year was just like, I mean, it was like I was like whelmed. It was like I was meeting Doc for the first time and Katie and the twins and all these people. I mean, 100 people I met that I've never met before, which was absolutely incredible. And even though we had online friendships, I was able to build friendships with these people that, will last forever. And, sit down and talk and chat and share stuff and all that stuff. It was so much fun. I had a great time. The after hours kind of networking, chatting that we would do in the lobby of the hotel or in kind of the eating area that they had, the breakfast area was probably some of the best stuff. Um, it was great. It was great. See, anything else? I'm here. Ask a question. Uh, Otherwise, this may be a short one today. Any burning thing? Anybody want to know how anything works? How to find something? How to do something? Ask away. John asked how late the after hours can go on for a while. I mean, it kind of depends on how long you want to hang around, um, to chat and talk, and how long people want to hang around. I think we were there probably 11, maybe 12. Some of us older folks, we might have to bow out early to kind of get our our beauty rest so that our minds are working the next morning when we have to start thinking. But yeah, there's no limits. When we get back to the hotel, it's as long as you want to stay up and as long as people are around that, want to talk to each other, you're kind of open. Yeah, the Matt brought up the black T-shirt I have is the staff T-shirt. So when you get to camp and you see anybody with a black T-shirt on, those are staff people walking around. It has our names in the back so that you can know what to call us, rather than "Hey you." But yeah, all the black T-shirts are staff people. So if you need help with anything, black T-shirt people are the ones to look for. The colored T-shirts are all of the cabin groups and things like that. So you'll be able to identify us. We're going to be releasing something next week for those attending camp. It's going to be a Notion, I believe it's coming out next week, um, a Notion document that's going to give you a lot more information about camp. It's going to give you some packing tips, kind of a high level schedule of what's going on camp. That is a living, breathing document that will be changing and updating throughout camp, that you will be able to access. It's also going to show the running totals of the teams. And so, it will show you which team is winning, which team has earned the most money so far. So the individual challenges that those attending camp did, those all went towards your camp totals, your team totals, and those have been added in. So when you see the Notion document, all those numbers will be in there. So that will be your way to find out where everybody's standing in camp cache and all that stuff. And like I said, if we have to have if there's last minute changes or something, we will make them and that will be updated into the Notion document. So you'll be if everything, I believe you're going to be getting that next week, getting access to that next week if you're attending camp. So that should be really cool too. Caleb is working crazily on that in the background, and we're doing proofreadings and stuff like that to make sure everything's together. So that's coming. Anything else? Doc, you have anything that you think I should mention that I haven't mentioned? Like I said, we've got lots of fun stuff planned. It's going to be, oh, Doc is cute. Yes, yes, you are. Old but cute. Um, Jill wants to know who your favorite e-cammer named Jill is, or who's your favorite e-cammer named Jill. I have to think on that one for a little bit. I can't wait to see you too, Jill. It's going to be kind of going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Miss Jill is my favorite Jill. Matt wants to know tacos or pizzas. I'm a pizza person, but I do like tacos too. I can go either way. I like food, so I'm happy to eat anytime. And Valley's going to be going for the first time this year too, so that's going to be fun. She's going to get to to experience camp, and I get to pester her. I'm going to be in front of her for days, for almost 5 days, so she's going to be tired of me. She's probably going to be returning me to sender before it's over. Any other burning questions, everybody? Valerie wants a divorce before camp. Anything anybody want to know? How things work? What's happening? One of the excursions is to a chocolate tasting place, and the chocolate at this place is unbelievable. Um, I mean, that's that's well worth the trip alone for the chocolate at this place. It's going to be cool. There's a group that's going to be doing a video scavenger hunt in Portsmouth and walking around taking pictures, stuff like that. There's a group that's going to be visiting an alpaca farm, and then another group that's going to be doing a ropes course. And Liz Wilcox, who is part of the Ecamm community, that was one of the um, cast members on Survivor last season, she's going to be doing that ropes course with you too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have lots to do. You're not going to be bored at all, and lots of food. But it should be entertaining. Lots of people, lots of fun. Yep, Maestro is making his pass through visit in the background there. And the ropes course will be at the location of the closing reception where we're at, or where that's going to be held at. It's going to be on site there. So uh, those of you doing the excursion won't have to go far. You can eat lots of food and then climb across ropes. I was thinking of doing the ropes course, but I thought Doc might cut the my rope just to laugh at me and see me bounce on the ground. So I decided to do the excursion in Portsmouth. Yes, there will be coffee. Uh, you will not. There's going to be snacks, the food. You're going to be fed. You won't go hungry. I assure you, you won't go hungry or thirsty. We've got you covered in all those areas. So there's going to be food. No, Matt, you're safe. You don't have to cancel. We do have coffee. Coffee is a bit, and there is some fantastic coffee shops in Amesbury too. Mm, very close walking distance. So you don't have to worry about coffee. Anyway, well, if there's not any more questions, I think we may do a short one today. Um, I'll give you a couple more minutes to ask any final last minute things, anything burning that you want to know. Otherwise, we're going to call it quits today. Don't forget that later on today we have Building Blocks with Anna and Fulgence coming up, and then on this Friday, Doc is doing his Tech Talks that he does every other Friday. We do the live demo one Friday, and then Doc does Tech Talks on the opposite Friday. And so it's on Zoom. If you register, you can get the link to join on Zoom, and Doc is there to answer your questions, help you out any way, shape, or form. So it's a great place to have if you're having technical questions that you can just pop in there, and Doc and the rest of us are happy to help you out in any way that we can. And how many of you have ordered your new iPhone that's coming? Uh, I ordered mine, and normally I just have it delivered because it usually arrives at the same time. And apparently I wasn't paying attention during the checkout process, and I had mine delivered, and it looks like you had an option of picking it up in an Apple store, which there's one like 4 blocks away from where I live. Uh, and it sounds like some people may be getting their phone on Friday. Mine won't be delivered until somewhere around the 2nd of October. So I may have to wait a little bit longer and suffer through those of you that get yours early. But I did order mine. I'm looking forward to getting it before camp. I got the a case to put it in yesterday, and so I've got that part. Now I'm just waiting for the actual phone part. So anyway, I don't see any more questions from everybody. So um, that's the case. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Katie will back with me next month when we do office hours. But as I said, this is your place. This is your stream. You decide what happens on the stream. It's completely and totally up to you. Again, I appreciate all the support. We all thank you for your support and being part of the Ecamm community, answering people's questions, being there to support all of the new folks coming in. and just being, an overall fantastic group of people. The Ecamm family is truly my family, and I love all of you, and I can't wait to see those of you that are coming to camp uh, here in just a few weeks. So anyway, with that said, we're going to call it quits for the day. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next stream.